This is Fantasy Football Today for CBS Local Sports, getting you set to win your fantasy matchups in week number 7. Nick Kostos joined by Jamey, Eisenberg, and Dave Richard. First up, quarterback guys. Jamey, your start of the week. Bengals quarterback Andy Dalton.
I mean, let's go. He may get Tyler Eifert back for this game. He's got the best matchup of any team on the table. You look at it, 4 quarterbacks in a row have scored 3 touchdown passes against this Browns defense. Everyone has thrown 6 touchdown passes against the Browns. He's coming off 2 straight games of at least 20-plus fantasy points. Andy Dalton's a top 3 quarterback this week.
You had me at Browns defense. I'm all in on Andy Dalton. And a guy that I would gladly sit for him is Carson Palmer going up against Seattle. Yeah, he's at home against Seattle. This is a tough Seahawks defense, and they've riddled him. He only has 1 game in his last 4 with multiple touchdowns against him, 1 game with 20-plus fantasy points. I don't think this is going to be another. I'm concerned about his arm strength. He's going to struggle. Sit him.
Now at running back, no Doug Martin, no Charles Sims for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dave, you're loving you some Jacquizz Rodgers.
The talent is what it is, but the opportunity is golden. He might get 30 touches in this game against a San Francisco defense that's allowed 5 straight running backs to get to 100 rushing yards. This is a great opportunity for Jacquizz Rodgers. You saw what he could do against Carolina. That's a tough defense in his last game. This week he does even better than that. 13 or more fantasy points for Jacquizz Rodgers.
Well, I think you look at Ryan Matthews and his situation this week. Last time I checked, he's afraid of the color purple. Who wouldn't be afraid of the color purple? I'd be afraid of the purple people eaters, and I think Ryan Matthews is going to have a tough time against Minnesota. I think all the Eagles are going to stink against Minnesota this week. I would stay away from Ryan Matthews.
Now, wide receivers that we are looking to start. Jamey, it seems like Michael Thomas steps onto the field and scores touchdowns.
He scored in 3 straight games, and I think he's got actually the best matchup of any of the Saints wide receivers. Brandon Cooks probably going to see a lot of Marcus Peters. You can see Michael Thomas be a guy that Drew Brees continues to lean on, and it's been really since Willie Snead's toe injury crept up. He still says he's not 100%. Colby Fleener's going to struggle in this game. I think Michael Thomas, not a huge game, but I think he falls into becoming a top 20 wide receiver this week.
Jordan Matthews hasn't been a top 20 receiver in a long time, and now he's taking on the Vikings, and the Vikings are coming off a bye. In fact, this is the first of 3 straight opponents for Philadelphia coming off of their bye week to play the Eagles. Tough sledding for Jordan Matthews here. I would definitely sit him down.
And Jordan Matthews, fun fact, he is also terrified of the color purple. Now, tight
Absolutely
ends
true.
that we are looking to start. 2 words, Doyle rules. Dave, Jack Doyle of the Colts.
Doyle likes that nice blue view, tint, whatever you want to call it.
Hue, I believe, was the word you were looking
And what did I say?
I don't know. It's some combination of them.
I don't know what the heck I said, but I am going to start Jack Doyle because he's going to be that #1 tight end for the Colts. We know that Dwayne Allen isn't going to play. We know that Andrew Luck's got to throw the football against the Titans defense. He's going to get a lot of targets and a lot of opportunities, and Luck has a bit of a track record throwing touchdowns to tight ends against Tennessee. Say that 5 times fast. Doyle rules.
I'll pass.
Top 10 tight end in fantasy lineups.
And I think he'll be better than a guy who used to have a little bit of history with Andrew Luck, and that's Colby Fleener. Tough situation for him. Eric Berry eliminates tight ends. The Chiefs do not allow production to tight ends. And the Saints home versus Saints on the road, it's happened to Colby Fleener now too. 2 great games at home so far, 3 bad games on the road. This is going to be another bad game on the road for him. Avoid Colby Fleener this week.
Those were your starts and sits for week number 7 for Dave Richard and Jamey Eisenberg. I'm Nick Kostos. You've been watching Fantasy Football Today on CBS Local Sports.